Hey all, my name is Yvette and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be reflecting on my past year of reading through the 7 principles of Kwanzaa as a part of the Kwanzaa Reflect-a-thon, which is put on by Ninjiri over at Onyx Pages. I participated in the Kwanzaa Reflect-a-thon last year in a collab video with Priscilla over at Bookie Charm, and I am very excited to be an ambassador again this year, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. The first principle is Emoja, Unity, a book that centered the upliftment of African descended folks, and I'm going with Solway by Lupita Nyong'o. This is a children's picture book about colorism. The main character, Solway, has dark skin, darker than anyone else in her family. People call her names and she doesn't have a lot of friends. She has very low self-esteem because of her skin color, and she even goes as far as to try to lighten her skin. Her mother sees what's going on and decides to tell her a fantastical story to make her feel better about her skin, and it's just a really beautiful story about the upliftment of one girl and her seeing the beauty in her skin tone that was there all along. I know for at least in the Latinx community, colorism is a huge thing. We are told from a very young age that lighter skin is better and it's prettier. And seeing a children's book address such an important issue that is deeply affecting its target audience, I think is a step in the right direction. And also the art in this book is some of the most gorgeous art I've seen in a picture book, and if you want to take a closer look at it, there's this channel called Reading with Ja who does a read-through of it. The read-through is own voices in terms of race, and it's a child reading it, and they're super adorable, so I'll link that down below. The second principle of Kwanzaa is Kujulia, Self-Determination, a book with an African-descended LGBTQ character who inspired you because they were determined AF, and I'm going with Pet by Kweke Emezi. This book takes place in a utopian society where all of the monsters and evils of the world have been destroyed, or so the main character Jam has been told. However, a creature from one of Jam's mother's paintings comes to life and tells her that there is a monster in town, and it's somewhere in close proximity with her best friend. So Jam is obviously worried about her best friend, but the adults around her are telling her that the creature is wrong and that there aren't any monsters anymore and there's nothing to worry about, so they should just leave it alone. But Jam is determined to figure out what's really going on, and I think that kind of determination to do what's right in this sort of difficult situation takes a certain kind of strength. And this book also fits this principle because the main character is trans. The third principle of Kwanzaa is Ujima, Collective Work and Responsibility, a book in which a diverse group of characters work together toward a goal, and I'm going with This Is What You Feel Like by Rebecca Barrow. This is a summer YA contemporary about 3 girls who have just graduated high school, if I am remembering correctly. And as far as the diverse group goes, 2 of the girls are black, 1 is white, and 2 of the girls are queer, 1 is straight, and also the author is a queer black woman. The group of friends were in a band together and as close as 3 people could possibly be, but then a bunch of life stuff happened and they were torn apart. When this book starts off, they are estranged from each other. 1 is a recovering alcoholic, 1 is a teen mom with a dead boyfriend, and 1 is recently out of a toxic relationship. A band competition is announced with a fabulous grand prize, so the friends decide to get the band back together for one last shot. I fell in love with this book when I first read it. It's about 3 girls who have to learn each other again and learn to trust each other again if they want to win this competition. And although there is a female-female romance in it as well as a male-female romance, the focus of the book is on the friendship and them finding their way back to each other. The fourth principle is Ujima, Cooperative Economics, a book that got you thinking about sharing economic resources, and I'm going with Forbidden by Beverly Jenkins. This is a post-Civil War historical romance following a black woman named Edie who has dreams of moving out to California and opening her own restaurant. However, her plans hit a snag and she ends up staying in this small town for a while, and that's where she meets a man named Ryan. Ryan is a biracial man passing for white, and him and Edie have this immediate connection, but their relationship would be forbidden because she's black and he's white in the eyes of the town, and also because Edie's not gonna let anyone stop her from her dream of her restaurant. Because Ryan is passing, he's able to buy up a bunch of property and economically support the black community by lending reasonably and helping out wherever he can. He's also involved with the leadership of the town and the white elite, and he's working to make things better for black people and people of color in the town. This got me thinking about shared economic resources because it would be so easy for Ryan to just fully assimilate into the white community and fully pass in every aspect of his life, but instead he uses this as an opportunity to help. He's able to use the privilege that his light skin gives him to share his wealth and provide economic opportunities to black folks in town who might not get it otherwise. And then those people help other people, and in the end you have this small town with a thriving community of people of color that is only possible because everyone is helping everyone else. The fifth principle of Kwanzaa is Nia Purpose, a book in which an African descended character found or developed their purpose, and I'm going with Duke by Default by Alyssa Cole. This is the second book in the Reluctant Royal series, which is an adult contemporary romance series involving royals. And the main character in this one is a woman named Portia, who is an all-around hot mess. She's a New York socialite who likes to drink and party and have one-night stands, and she has a tendency to disappoint the people around her. But now she's trying to pull her life together and figure out what she's going to do with her life. Her parents want her to go work for their company, but instead she decides to be an apprentice to a struggling sword maker in Scotland. Portia already has social media skills and other strengths that can really help out this armory, and this is her chance to show everyone and herself what she's truly capable of. She finds purpose in a job that she turns out to be very good at and falls in love along the way. The sixth principle of Kwanzaa is Kuumba, creativity, a book in which an African descended character demonstrated power through creativity, and my choice for this one is My Life as an Ice Cream Sandwich by Ibi Zoboi. This is a middle grade contemporary about a 12-year-old girl named Ebony Grace. Ebony's grandfather was one of the first black engineers at NASA, and from a very young age he instilled this love of space and Star Trek and Star Wars into Ebony. Together they play these pretend games where they go on space adventures. There is some scandal that happens, and Ebony is sent to Harlem to live with her father for a few weeks. While she is there, she lives 24/7 in this world that she has created for herself. She blends reality with the space adventure world that she created with her grandfather, and she interprets everything that happens around her through the lens of this world. The writing style is very whimsical to fit Ebony's point of view, but at the same time you can see past her point of view to what is really going on. As you can imagine, Ebony's way of doing things doesn't go over so well with the neighborhood kids, and she's having trouble fitting in. But her creativity is what makes her special, and she never lessens herself for others, and eventually she does find her place. A note on the representation is that to me, I thought that Ebony could be read as autistic, and I'm not sure if Zoboi has commented on that specifically, but she did tweet that Ebony is differently brained, so there is definitely a neurodiverse main character for this book. And finally, the last principle of Kwanzaa is Imani, faith, a book that strengthens your faith. This was a difficult prompt for me because I'm not really religious or spiritual, so I'm interpreting this as something that strengthened my faith in humanity and strengthened my faith in the future, especially for marginalized folks in a time where the future looks very scary for someone who is not cishet and white. So I'm going to talk about a book that I just read and that was amazing. It was A People's Future of the United States, speculative fiction from 25 extraordinary writers, edited by Victor Lavelle. The authors that contributed to this collection fall under a large range of race, gender, and sexuality, and some of the ones that I'm familiar with are Leslie Nekarima, Ternana Reeve-Dew, N.K. Jemisin, Daniel Jose Older, and of course Victor Lavelle, who edited everything. He did this introduction that was really touching and really kicked off the collection to a strong start. Each of these stories answers the question of what if America's founding ideals of peace, justice, and love became a reality? And each answer to this question is as diverse and inclusive as the authors who wrote them. A lot of these stories take on current day issues like the government trying to control women's bodies, the wall at the border, internment camps, government surveillance, and it takes a closer and more speculative look at what these things might evolve to in the future, all from marginalized perspectives. They are stories of oppression, but also resisting oppression and still surviving and thriving. Also, N.K. Jemisin's story is about dragons, so there's that. This is exactly just the kind of book to restore your faith. It's the book that I needed when I was younger, and also the book that I need now, and I can't recommend it enough. So those are the books I think fit the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Make sure to go check out everyone else's Kwanzaa Reflect-a-thon videos, and also go subscribe to Ninjeri if you aren't already, because her channel is amazing. That's gonna be all I have today. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.